Welcome back to the Diversity Project. I am your host, Rhonda Kulch. And again, just one of those uplifting episodes where there's nothing more empowering to me than strong women and strong women that represent a specific cause. In today's episode, we are speaking with 4 different local Long Island not-for-profits that focus around women's health and the cancer really a community, whether it be prevention, helping people, helping women, making women feel more beautiful. And of course, on that note, with making women feel more beautiful, we have in studio with us right now, Karla Waldron. She's the executive director of Mondays at Racine. So welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So, I love when I have a vision in mind on who I would love to really kind of spotlight and bring onto the show because they have such an amazing cause. And I think what's happened over the last several years is so many people have jumped on this wagon of wanting to help people. And then the organizations that are actually real organizations, their missions get diluted. So just to give you an example, like everybody loves to help women during breast cancer survival month, and you get the local moms groups, right? And they go, we're raising money, we're the local moms groups and we're going to raise money, but they're diluting from what other organizations are actually doing. We love the fact that their effort is there, but they're taking away from the people whose jobs it is to really get into the community and get their voices heard. So love what your organization represents and what it does for women. So why don't you explain a little bit about the mission of Mondays at Racine?
Sure, but I just want to go back to what you just brought up and say that it's always good to have outreach. So whenever any groups get together and can do outreach for the cancer community on Long Island, we are so happy because we have limited resources as a nonprofit, right? Mm-hmm. We want all of the money that we bring in to go to our program and to go to helping people. So we take any outreach that's out there. So, we do get a little tired of the pink ribbons in October. It does get to a certain point, but we're grateful nonetheless. So the Mondays at Racine's mission is really to provide free wellness, health, and beauty services to men and women going through any kind of cancer. We don't discriminate with cancers. It's not just breast and it's not just women's. It's all cancers.
I've been witness to watching what I don't know if you want to call it a segment or a day of beauty. I guess maybe a day of beauty.
A day of wellness.
A day of wellness over at Maya Day Salon. So tell me a little bit about, you're saying about the beauty and, there's no discrimination, men and women. Give us an idea of what does that look like? What, when you're doing a day of beauty, when you're talking about wellness, what does that look like?
Sure. And Maya Salon is one of our oldest partners. So I'm so glad you brought them up because they are extremely important to our program. But a day of wellness for anybody who walks through our doors means a lot, and it's individual to that person who comes through, but it could be anything from massage, meditation, nutrition, hair services, skin aesthetics, all very oncology specific. So, because we do have the education and we do have the certifications, we have an immense amount of cancer protocols that we have to follow as providers to our patients. So, but I think the biggest thing is the rebuilding of strength, or to remind people, we get to remind people who are going through a very difficult time in their life who they are. Mm-hmm. No, you do know how to eat, because suddenly it's, should I eat sugar? Is this right for me? Is this good for me? Like they forget once you get diagnosed, suddenly everything goes out the window. And so we end up being these great educators. We have so many resources across Long Island and New York that we're able to provide to people, and they trust us. They're trusted resources. So we're building strength, we're reducing anxiety, we're helping people sleep at night, we are providing empowerment. Perhaps that patient feels so good at the end of her services that day that she wants to go to the soccer field and pick up her kids that day, and she has it in a few weeks. So that provides an enormous amount of family normality comes back to some sort of normalcy, and that's what we're really trying to do.
Now, when somebody is reaching out to you for services, are these services that are provided in your office, or are these outside vendors that are pre-certified or pre-approved through your organization?
That's a great question. So we have charter programs all over Long Island and New York, and they exist in yoga studios, beauty salons, acupuncture and massage practices. Some financial community groups help us out. You name it. There's a lot that is underneath the Mondays umbrella, and they do provide those services from their businesses.
So they're donating their time to enhance your mission for the people you serve.
Correct. And the only thing they have to do is provide the services for free.
Okay.
Volunteer what they're great at, what they're licensed for, free to the patients. And it's one day a month. If they want to do more, they can certainly do more, but that's the only criteria that we have.
Is it a dedicated day that Mondays chooses, or is it a dedicated day that that facility chooses?
So we started with the beauty salon industry when we started 13 years ago, when we became a 501c3. We began our flagship as in a beauty salon, and traditionally beauty salons are closed on Mondays. So that's why the name Mondays at Racine. So other beauty salons are traditionally closed. It makes sense for them to open on a Monday when they're able to, but we do have some programs that open different days of the week. We don't care which day as long as they're able to provide.
And then as far as, somebody who might be, I don't know if you refer to them as clients or customers, the families and the people that you serve, is there a limit to how often they can go see any one of the vendors?
So not necessarily, and we try to be as individual on like an individual's needs. We try to fulfill needs as much as we can. We are not a survivorship program, so we really only treat people who are in treatment. And traditionally, treatment can last from 6 months to a year, hopefully no longer than that. So we generally see people for a year. And they can go from salon to acupuncture practice to yoga to wherever they want within our charter program.
Okay, which is amazing. And is there a limit to how long they're allowed to remain in the program?
As long as they're in treatment, we can serve them.
Okay. And I know, obviously, when we're currently still in this pandemic, how has that affected your ability to really provide services for the families that are in your program?
So it's been difficult, as you know, Rhonda. We have been closed. We were closed for 5.5 months. All of our programs were dark because we're dealing with a very immune suppressed population. So we moved really fast. We have a great team of innovators, and we were able to provide a lot of virtual and online programming through yoga, through education, meditation, even online. And what's really great about that is that those services will now be evergreen. We're going to continue those services because they became so popular. But now, since I think August was our first flagship day back, and everyone is starting to come back. And I think by next month, we're going to have the majority of our charter programs back up.
Which is amazing. You never want to see somebody not have access to services. But I think what we all, it is, but and we all love that socialization. But I think there's value in the fact that if you were able to provide programs online or through Zoom meetings for those people that probably still really need the assistance but don't feel well enough to get out of bed, you've opened up an entirely new vertical for, for your business, for
a new category.
Sure. So that people who, maybe they jumpstart it, almost like a little bit of
I'll tell you one thing I'm really, really proud of is that we have a volunteer group that decided that they would be Monday's messengers, and they would go food shopping, pick up prescriptions, and drop off to our patients while they were home during that time when we were dark. So that was really an amazing thing to see.
And if somebody wanted to become a vendor for your organization, they just reach out to you? They
could reach out to me directly. They can go to our website, mondaysatracine.org, and there's plenty of space there for them to reach out to us.
I think that what you're doing is amazing, which is why I wanted you on the show, because when you hear about these opportunities that are provided for people that are in their darkest most vulnerable state. Anything to make you feel better about yourself, your body, your mind, just to feel pretty, right?
Mind,
Just to
body,
feel-
soul, it's
Mhm.
all connected.
Just to feel pretty. All of the information for all of our guests is always on our website, which is the diversityprojectli.com. So all the information, how they can reach you, a direct link to your website, they will all be
Awesome.
available.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much for coming in today. Of course, we cannot run our program without our amazing sponsors. So we'd like to thank Christina Lentini of the State Farm Agency, Exit New York Metro, Indigo Restaurant, Jet Direct, and the Equity First Foundation. Stay tuned for our final guest.